Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Trisha Sims here. Sorry, my Friday conversations were a bit late. I am a bit late, but today was a long, long day. But I still said I'd come on and we'd have a little conversation. I have a little somebody who's gonna join me and is requesting to join, so I really would like to welcome her. Let's see. So I'm seeing you waving at me, but I know you want to join, so maybe if you send me a request, we could see. Right? Good. So good. I'm happy to see some people on with us. Share Jelani, Edo Studio, Isla Fava. Thanks for coming on. So, hi, Pauline.
I'm on.
Yes, you
Hi,
are. You
Krishna.
are on. You are on. So I'm happy that you're joining, this afternoon for the conversations, for my eyes. I don't know, maybe it's because whole day I spent on the computer, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah,
Um,
yes, me too.
Thank you for coming on with me. So what we're talking about today, we have been making a journey, a few of us in the Archdiocese, with this book, The Educational Covenant, and we only in the introduction, and there many things that have struck me, and I just thought this week in particular it talked about um, to educate is to bring out, to give birth to the other person. And you know over this week, Raymond and I, we pray as a family. Every day we pray as a family, and this week we started praying as a couple. And it felt a bit awkward, just for the simple reason that we're just not accustomed doing it together. We're accustomed,
Yeah.
as a family, but as a couple, doing it together. And it just
Mhm.
reminded me of, as giving birth to the other person. I am feeling myself being birthed, for want of a better expression.
Mhm.
And we are married 21 years, but it's now starting, us as a
Congrats.
couple doing it, and it does feel a bit
Wow.
awkward. But it's something that it has been a prayer of my own heart for quite a while. I don't know, Pauline, maybe you would want to share a little something about your own
Yeah,
experience about the book,
about the book. Yeah,
or
so the book
anything,
is about,
or anything.
yeah, okay, well, that experience of praying with my husband was really strange. And up to now, I still be like, oh gosh, should we pray together? I think I custom praying with myself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true. It brings something out in me that is very different. I am not the same, right? When I'm praying with him, and I understand myself differently, and I understand him differently when we pray together. But this book, The Educational Covenant, is very interesting in that it helps in educating, not just, yeah, as you're saying, you're educating your spouse and you're educating yourself, and you become a parent to yourself. In this book, they taught us that you become a parent to yourself. You're actually becoming something different, by engaging with others, by relating to others and understanding them, or relating with them helps you to kind of chisel out who you are, you know?
Chisel
And
is a
it's
good word.
good. Yeah,
Chisel
yeah,
is a
yeah.
good word. um, and I say it's a good word because, sometimes just the mere fact of relationships, giving that birth to each other, giving birth requires a lot of different pains. I love the garden, and the garden is always rejuvenating itself. And sometimes I think of ways that I can rejuvenate my own self, but I know that I can't do it on my own. I need someone that's bigger than me to help me figure out myself, because I didn't create myself, so I can't figure out myself on my own. You
Yeah.
need. I have found that I need to keep trusting in who created me, to
Mhm.
help me figure out who I really am. And it brings me to that other point where it talks about,
Mhm.
to educate is not to merely pass on information to others.
Right.
but rather to help
Mhm.
them to see the relationship between the information and the ultimate truth. Because I have all kind of truth,
Yeah.
but there's an ultimate
Mhm.
truth
Yes.
with its place in God's plan. And I think as a
Mhm.
parent, as there's so many things coming at us as parents, and even more so at our children. And
Mhm.
it's easy to say, go and look at TikTok or go and look at YouTube, go on Google and Google it. But,
Yeah.
those intimate conversations with our children about who they are and their bodies. We talk to them about the purpose of their eyes. We wouldn't tell them to put dirt in your eyes purposefully.
Mhm. Yeah.
We wouldn't tell them to stick wood in their ears purposefully. But sometimes we tell our children, we hand our children things, you're having problems with your period. Well, okay, take this.
Mhm.
You're having, you can't control yourself. Well, you need to get a condom to control yourself. But, we don't,
Yeah.
so that's information. But our bodies have a purpose.
Yeah.
Um, and so many
Mhm.
times we are so awkward having conversations with our children about their reproductive system, which I know you're very good at, Pauline. So maybe you could
Well,
jump in here and help us out.
yes, yes. Well, I am not a parent myself. However, I have been talking to lots of young people about their sexuality and what it means, and we talk about ovulation, what that is, what was the purpose of that? What's the purpose of having periods? Period.
So
Period.
Mike, maybe you could tell us about the purpose of the period. If a young
Mhm,
person, if a parent were to start to have that conversation, 9, 10, 11,
mhm.
that age group there, what are some things they can start to see to prime for that
Right.
conversation? Maybe you could tell us a little bit.
Well, maybe they can start very simple, and of course, it shouldn't be, as you said in your last vlog, it shouldn't be a conversation that just is a one and done. This is a ongoing conversation, starting from when they're young. What is, between the legs, why it's there,
So tell us,
right? And
you tell us,
so,
you're telling us, we're using the proper
mm,
names, and
mhm.
how can we? Because parents will be saying, well, how do we talk about this? What can we say?
Yes.
What are some of the practical things that can be said to parents?
No, but they really should use the proper names, as you said, Trisha. You should say the vagina, right?
Hmm.
It's the birth canal. That's where babies come out,
Hmm.
and things like that is where you would start. But then later on, you're going to get into more detail, and when she comes and starting to see her periods, and you say, well, now you're becoming a woman. And what does that mean?
Yes,
Just as with the boys, they have a penis and their boys start to get deeper and they start to build muscles. Well, they're becoming men. What does that mean? You know? So start with a gentle conversation, like what do you think it means? What does it mean to you? And sort of find out where they're at in their understanding before you launch off into something
and the
very,
more
very deep.
yeah
Yes, no.
into the more of the
Mhm.
conversation that we have this
Yeah.
info. What I liked about the book is that you pass the information, but not just the biology, but the purpose.
Yes.
Why did God make us? There's a purpose for
Yeah.
our eyes, there's a purpose for our ears, there's a purpose for the vagina, there's a purpose for the penis, and what that purpose is and how we can continue having those conversations. Now I know 5 minutes must be long gone, and, we will
Yes.
continue with this conversation in terms of purpose of our bodies
Mm-hmm.
and the purpose of their parts and why, the why
Yeah.
behind the what,
Yeah.
and who made us and why God made us. So I want to thank you,
Mm-hmm.
all of you all, for joining in. I see Brittany, I see Jelani. Um, I'm not sure who else I'm seeing on my end here, Edos. But I really want to thank you for all of you all who are viewing, and we continue to create this. I continue to create this space here. You're free to join in. Just request to join, and we can be part. We can do this together. Thank you very
All
much,
right.
and I look forward to seeing you, Pauline. Thank you very much for coming on. I
Yeah,
appreciate that,
you
and I hope
too.
you'd come on a lot more in the future.
Nice being here. Yes.
Okay.
Take care.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Okay. You too. What is that?
I see you're changing. You're doing different things with filters there,
I
Pauline.
I am fooling around with Instagram. I have no idea what is going on here. Oh my goodness. All kinds of things.